Hi there, it's Sandra with Brew City Thrifts. Today I'm at the Brookfield Goodwill, which is not a typical Goodwill on my route, but the last couple times I've been here, I've been impressed with the vintage things. So I'm hoping we are going to score. So let's hit it.
Okay, so today we start where the kitchenware items are and serving pieces. And the first things that catch my eye are some glass bowls. We have a maybe like a sunflower white clear glass bowl, and inside it was a little amber bowl. It could have been vintage, but I'm not big on amber. Then this bowl catches my eye, which is it's got an embossed seashell design on it and starfish, and I really liked it. It was quite heavy. It had a polished bottom, but I did believe it to be a pretty contemporary piece, so I moved on. These little chicken salt and peppers were cute, and behind them was this glass pitcher. It looked to be hand blown to me. It was substantial, it had a nice heft to it, and the design looked to be maybe mid-century-ish. I don't know if it was a retro piece or actually vintage, but I left it there. I noticed this possibly crystal candy dish with the lid, and behind it was, I just wanted to pull it out. Some of the tabletops sets of dishware to me are really lovely and nicely painted, and some of them do resell well when people are, people are really who bought them originally are trying to replace pieces, so I do look at them sometimes. My eye was drawn to one of the platters in the stack, this one here, because I noticed that it was enameled, so I had to maneuver it out with my one hand. That's actually a very pretty yellow ceramic platter. I like that too. But look at the colors on this. I thought that was really beautiful. I'm sort of looking it over, hoping for a signature or something to tell me a little bit more about the maker. There is some sort of imprint on the back, but I can't read it now. It didn't seem to have a ton of age, and when I really looked at it closely, I just didn't think that the quality was quite there with the enameling, so I did decide that I would leave it on the shelf, but it was a very pretty piece. And of course, in this boxed set that is supposed to look like a retro snack set, it says right there, vintage. They made it as a vintage piece, so not truly vintage. I decided to leave that too. Continuing my search on a different shelf, the first thing that catches my eye is going to be this little bowl. It has a little bit of an enamel design, and it is sitting in a hand-painted Portuguese handled bowl or pot, but behind it is something. This definitely catches my eye. This has silver overlay and a really pretty detailed pattern of like floral baskets. I just wasn't sure. This is not something that I have previously bought, and I really like the silver overlay. I really like this shallow pedestal bowl. It can be used for so many things, and I'm just not sure. At first I'm thinking, well, I don't know. And then I noticed this cut glass. I think this could be a cheese ball dish or a butter dish, and it's covered, and it's very heavily patterned glass, which, if I pick up clear glass, I typically want it to be heavily patterned. So I put that in my cart. I had also picked up that box that you see under there just as a practical purchase for storage, probably for myself and or my boyfriend. And I just really liked that cut glass cheese ball dish. And then I said, no, I'm going to take a chance on this. I am going to pick that one up and think about it for sure at least. I liked the enameling on that dish, but But then I saw this. It is enormous. I pulled it out to try and lift it onto my cart. It is a turkey platter for Thanksgiving. Look at the design. It's got so much going on, fruits and flowers and things around the handles and the two big turkeys in the middle. It's fantastic. Turning it over, I could barely do this, but it is definitely Arthur Court, as I suspected, for only $6.99. It's got design all on the back of it, on the underside with those turkey feet. It's fantastic. So I am definitely taking that home with me. That was the find of the day, and wow, happy Thanksgiving. This lovely hand-painted picture caught my eye on this shelf. I really love the hand painting on the bottom. It looks like I wasn't sure. It could have been actually a China piece, even though I was going to guess maybe it's something like Portugal. But there was a chip on the lip there of the picture, so I decided to move on. I noticed this crock. I do love myself a good crock, and I wasn't familiar with that maker. It was missing a serving utensil, and I have so many crocks that I need to list and sell. I decided to leave it behind. Those nesting bowls are rather cute. They had little angels on them, but below them I noticed this Havana ceramic bowl with the stripes, which are just really striking. That pattern is beautiful and colorful. The bowl looked intact. It's not that old, so I was really considering it for the design, but I decided to leave it. Here I first noticed this tray set. It's got a pretty design. It is lacquered, but when I pick it up, it is also quite lightweight, and I decide it, probably really a newer piece, so I leave that behind. Below it, I noticed this hand-painted scoop. It is actually a decorative piece, and still has its wall-hanging apparatus. So I noticed the Sharper Image wood barrel whiskey dispenser, and then underneath it, I see this. This is Mariposa. It is 100% recycled metal. I think it's aluminum, and it is a lovely design with two napkin weights in it. Awesome. I put that in my cart. On this shelf, I noticed this ceramic pottery stem imprint or leaf imprint. It's signed. It is it's got a hole in it for a wall hanging. I do love natural items, natural materials, and so I put that in my cart. I think it's a very pretty piece. I think the last time I was here, I saw a vintage or antique pottery jug like this, and this one is the 3-gallon size. It is much more reasonably priced. The last time I think I saw it at $50 here at a Goodwill, and this one is at about $15 or $16. Great price. I decide I don't want to mess with that big guy, but it's beautiful to look at. I see some holiday uh, plates here. These are by Threshold, which is a Target brand, and they are a set of winter woodland animals, for the holidays or for winter time. I do like them, but at about $4 a plate, I think that is too much for that set. The comparables I saw ranged from about $6 for 3 to $20 for 3. A complete set might bring in more, but I decided to pass. And then I noticed this daisy plate. It looked to be hand painted, and I just like the cherry daisy. I meant sunflower. And also down here, I noticed this casserole with the 3-dimensional cardinals on top. That is would be a beautiful holiday casserole. It is made by Sonoma, and it is not that old. And while it was a really nice piece, I thought I would just kind of try to focus on finding more vintage items today. It was definitely something that someone's going to enjoy. Then looking beneath these trays, I found this what I thought might have some age. It was probably a hobbyist piece. It says nibblers only. Just the cartoon style of it was charming, and it was something that might have been vintage, but I decided to leave it behind. Down here on this shelf, I noticed this Tonala style pottery vase. It's got a bluebird on it, and it definitely is evoking that Mexican design. I don't think I want to pay up to $6.99 for this, particularly when it is not signed and it doesn't seem to even be marked as from Mexico. So I left that behind. I do get excited in the wood and wall hanging area of this Goodwill because there's often really cool things here, like today, where there is this tapestry style cross stitch or embroidery. It is only $1.99 for this big piece. It looks like it could have been something that a lot of work went into, but I do decide to leave it. Here among the vases, I first noticed this Native American pottery piece. It is signed and is identified as being Navajo. I still have some Native American pottery in my inventory, so I leave it. Then I noticed this rock-shaped item with a moose on it. I do like saying the word moose. And then I noticed this square piece of pottery. It's got kind of a nice design. Beside it is this blue hand-painted floral piece, maybe a little trinket dish. Very pretty. Here is a probably vintage green glass vase. That green is not my favorite color, so I move on. I noticed this piece of pottery. It does have a signature, seems to be hand thrown with a little bit of a raised design on it. But for, I think it was what, $9.99, $6.99, it was just too much for that piece for me. Then I see this crock with the hand-painted apples on it. I have so many crocks to sell. I really need to stop picking them up. Obviously, I love pottery crocks, but that one also stays on the shelf. In the tchotchke aisle, I am first drawn to this little piece for $1.99, and it is, I'm not sure what it is, honestly. It's got inlay of shell and these little holes at the top. I was thinking, is it an incense holder? Is it hat pin holder? It was made in India, so I don't think it's that old. So I'm going to guess an incense holder, and I put it in my cart to think about it. Back on the shelf, I pick up this ornament briefly. It is lightweight, but even though I like the design. Then I noticed this Debbie Mum teapot. It's got a sweet little three-dimensional bee on the top. It is a typical Debbie Mum design, whimsical and sweet, and I can hear something rattling on the inside, which probably should have made me be a little more cautious. I put it in my cart just to think about it and look it up, and I do end up taking it with me. I see a Harry Potter patch, which I leave behind, even though I sometimes pick up Harry Potter items for my friends who are Harry Potter fans. But then this box catches my eye. I know what this is. This is Baoding balls, or they're sometimes called harmony balls. They are used in martial arts for hand strengthening. This pair has a dragon and a phoenix, and the box is in pretty good shape. So I'm definitely going to take that, even though it's priced a little high for resale. It's actually something that my 20-something kids love, so I'll give it to them. Still in the tchotchke aisle, I noticed this lovely swan. It's got some hand-painted violets. It's left in, but the violets are pretty broken up. So I move on and I say a quick hi to Woody and Bullseye. My son loved that movie when he was little. And then I noticed this baggie full of metal Dragonfly napkin rings. And while they are, they're brown, they don't have a lot of color to them. They are really designed nicely with a lot of detail. They turn out to be Pier 1, and I'm a Dragonfly fan, so those go in my cart. Here's another left-in piece. It's got a Cardinal singing to a little guitar playing child. No, that must be, I don't know, maybe that's some sort of cherub with a lute. I don't know quite what was going on there. It's okay, I don't have to understand everything. I did like this ceramic trinket dish, or no, it's a wall plaque with raised flowers on it. And then I saw this, and this really caught my eye. And I'm not sure why I was so attracted to it. It has an unusual design. It's very asymmetrical, and the designs are in these circular patterns, as you can see. Something about it just kept me looking at it. I definitely loved the white on the cream color and the sort of metallic enameling. On the bottom, there was no mark. It didn't seem to be particularly old, but something just drew me to it. So it's a chamber candle holder. It's very pretty to me. So I'm going to take a chance on it. Oh yes, it's that time. It is cart review time, and we are going to start first with this amazing turkey platter for Thanksgiving. Arthur's Court. It is a monster, but it is a very cool looking monster. Then we've got the Debbie Mum teapot with the bee on top. I think it's really whimsical and charming. There are still some Debbie Mum collectors out there, and it doesn't seem to have any damage, so that is coming home with me. You can see me pointing to some chimes that I picked up that are all tangled up, so I can't even really show you them too much. Here's that Indian incense holder. There is a deck of cards, the Kokopelli. I consider I put them in my cart, but I do put them back. I had picked up this polished marble candle holder or container. I thought it was really kind of classy. Then I also have a candle that I picked up that has a dragonfly on it. So dragonflies are kind of a theme in this trip. Then I have the pottery leaf or stem imprint wall plaque. Underneath it is the Mariposa napkin holder with the napkin weights. And here we've got the bowding balls, and underneath it were some markers I picked up for work. Again, that really pretty chamber candle holder. And there's the other dragonflies, the dragonfly napkin rings. This is a box I just picked up for just practical use, and I think, is that it? That's it.
Well, that was so much fun. I really think the piece for me of the day was the Arthur Court turkey platter. That is amazing, and I'm really excited. I think I'm gonna probably try to sell that on Amazon Marketplace because it's so huge. I don't sell a ton on Marketplace, but big heavy items are the ones that I do put up there. So I think I'm going to go in that direction with that turkey platter. I was also excited about the Mariposa napkin holder. I like recycled items. I really like the Mariposa recycled pieces, and I've sold them before, and I do pretty well with those. That one piece of that glass candy dish is just I'm curious about it. I'm looking forward to doing some research and finding out more about it and see if it was a real good pickup or maybe it was not. And finally, I think that Debbie Mom picture, it has a tiny chip on the bottom. Well, maybe it's not totally tiny. It's a chip on the bottom, but those pictures do go for more than I expected, so I might be able to make a little bit of money on that. And I do love the bees and the dragonflies. So happy with my finds and had a great time. Hope you did too. If you did, like my channel, subscribe, and comment, and come back and thrift on, siblings. So we will do this again.